It is a true honor to come on this platform and tell my story, and not only do that, but share jewels of inspiration to make a change.
Throughout the hard times, we're still making changes. Find the ways to help each other, many similar faces. There's a way, meditation and pray. God could pave the way, many better days in a peaceful place where we lay. A different state of mind in these crazy days.
Was born and raised in Los Angeles. I grew up in many different parts of Los Angeles. Grew up in the low bottoms, spent some time in Van Nuys, grew up in Pacoima, grew up in the Harbor area, so I'm very familiar with the city as a whole. And I got familiar with the city growing up as a kid. I was raised by a single mother. She taught me all the wisdom and the knowledge that I know today. And I'm living off of the knowledge and all the teachings she's given me. I pretty much had to learn everything of my own as I grew up through elementary school, through middle school, through high school, when it comes to being book smart, when it comes to being street smart, and just jewels of life that you need to know as you grow up. And I'm going to share how I got into photography. So with that being said, I started shooting with a camera in June of 2011. So I've been a photographer for over 15 years now. And the way I got into it is my mom used to have a small Kodak camera. And she also used to carry a lot of disposable cameras. And whenever we had a family event, she would have me taking pictures of the family at the events with her disposable cameras. And, we used to go to Walgreens, to CVS, print the pictures out, put them in one of those old school photo albums. Way back before social media was even a thing, before smartphones were a thing. And then one day, prior to the summer of 2011, she was holding a Kodak camera and she said, I don't have anything else to do with it, but I'm gonna give it to you and you best better do something with it. And when she said that, I said, you ain't gotta tell me twice, I'm gonna do something with it. So from there, I just started to take random pictures of the city, and I didn't have no idea what I was doing. I just was aiming the camera anywhere, not knowing what it was. But at the time, when Los Angeles was still like original and it wasn't gentrified, those pictures meant something to me, even if it wasn't anything that was in focus. And I started off with that for the first 2 years, 2011, 2012. Then 2013 came around and I graduated high school and I got a Samsung camera for a graduation gift. And that's when the photography started to slowly take off. And at that time, I was strictly doing street photography. I was just walking through the low bottoms all the time, taking pictures of what I saw, what I would witness. The best thing about it being in the low bottoms was the skyline of downtown LA. Like from any street over there, you could see it. And that was just something that I always admired. And part of my adventures, the highlight of my adventures was riding that ghetto Metro Blue Line. Like that pretty much raised me during my last few teenage years, going into my young adulthood years. And I would spend every weekend taking the Blue Line from 7th and Metro to Vernon Station or Slauson. I'd get off, walk around. I would take pictures. I'd run into people I know. I'd hang out, spend the whole day there. Then I'd end up leaving and then going on to edit what I had. And it was just a beautiful experience to start off. It really humbled me because growing up as a young adult, I was mostly on foot. Like everywhere I went was either on foot or it was through the metro. And I'm grateful for that paving the way to what I'm doing now and the growth that I've had with this photography and all the opportunities and the blessings that come with it. One of my favorite stories that I'm going to share with you guys today is there was one time just a random day where I'm thinking about capturing lowriders at a gas station. And mind you, I had been thinking about this for years. And I was like, the one picture that I want to get, whether it's a picture or multiple pictures within a set of pictures, is a gas station full of lowriders in South Central. The funny thing is on a Sunday, I was getting ready to head to one of the Sunday fun day spots on Broadway. And I started my journey in downtown and took the 45 bus down Broadway. And I'm in between Gage and Florence on Broadway. And I'm thinking to myself, I really want to see a gas station full of lowriders today. Now, we ain't even got to Florence yet. I look to my right, and lo and behold, gas station full of lowriders, a whole car club. And I looked around like, I hope they don't start leaving, because I'm trying to capture it with my camera real quick. And I'm praying, like, please don't leave, like, please stay. So as soon as the bus got to Florence, I rang the bell and everything. I got off, ran across the street with my camera, took my camera out real quick. I'm glad I didn't break anything, because I was moving with the quickness. And I started getting into action. And it's special moments like that, the spontaneous ones, that are the best moments, because it's something that you remember forever. Whether it be the next year, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, you tell your grandkids about that moment, like, look, this is what your grandpa did back in the day. This is how he started. It's just an overall beautiful thing. And to this day, I still look at those pictures and reminisce on those times that I had. Now, with that being said, the two forms of photography that have gotten me to where I am, one of them is street photography. And to go into detail about that is I basically, walk around in the streets. I capture the true parts of LA, especially now because the majority of the city is getting gentrified. And many of us have witnessed it. And I want to make sure that, I have pictures and documents of what used to be there, in case there's a landmark that ends up leaving and is no longer there. And something to remember and something to put in the history books. And, it's such a big thing. I feel like it's important for us to really hold down our neighborhoods and to, continue to make sure that we have the culture that was one of them, the culture that we were raised on, to remember our roots and to never forget where we came from. Because, I never forget where I came from. And, I'm grateful for where I've gone and where I'm at now. And, without this photography, if it wasn't for this photography, I don't know where I would be as far as what I wanted to do in life, what my future would have been. Because growing up when I was in school, I was confused and indecisive about what I wanted to do. I never really had a plan as to what I wanted to do. And that was through elementary school, middle school, high school. I was just there to make sure that I did my due diligence with, my work, and that I would make my mom proud and I would make my godfather proud, because those are the two important pillars in my family, the vessels that God provided me. And I'm grateful for both of them, because they both taught me what I needed to know and encouraged me to get out there and to continue showing up for myself every day, no matter how hard it gets. Because one of the things my godfather said was, no matter how hard it gets out there in this world, you just keep on going and you keep on shining, no matter what tries to bring you down, no matter the setback, the highs, the lows. You just keep on going and you keep on showing up for yourself every day, even if you're out there doing it by yourself and you got to get it on your own. And it takes you a long time to get to where you want to be. Because in this day and age, a lot of people think it's a race to, get to where you need to be. It's like you got to go at your own pace and make sure, you're consistent, because at the end of the day, it starts off with you and how hard you want to go for yourself. And you got to make sure that everything you do is on point. And that's the one thing, I always live for, especially making sure that all my kin folks around me are inspired by the work that I do. Now, one story I'll share, now this one is a very touching one. There was a time in 2021 where I was busy back to back to back with photo shoots and different projects. Considering that we had just came out of a pandemic and we hadn't been outside, things were different. So, I was able to be out there and appreciate the city, appreciate life way more for what it is. And back to back to back, I had all these different projects. And then, with Instagram, like now people really discover you. You just never know who's watching or who's going to discover your work. So I get a follow from the clothing brand Shaka Wear, and they had asked if they could have a meeting with me at their headquarters on Jefferson and San Pedro in the Low Bottoms. So I said, okay, I know exactly where that is. I'll come down there. So I went over there, and then we had a meeting, and then they talked about how they wanted me to work with this music group called the Rosecrans Music Group, which is based out of Compton. And the mission for that was I was going to take pictures of them at their park, which was Campanella Park. And, depending on what pictures made the cut, they were going to use it on a billboard right in the heart of their neighborhood. So I said, okay, we'll make it happen. Like anywhere I got to go, I got to go. So I hop on the Blue Line, get off at the Conklin station. I take the 51 bus down there to Avalon and Redondo Beach Boulevard, not Avalon, Compton Boulevard and Avalon. And I meet up with everybody there. Everyone had like the sports bikes and everything. We get straight to business and we do the photo shoot. And, it was a different thing for me because it was a start sticking out of my comfort zone. And that was a big thing that I had in mind as a goal for 2021. So I go there, I do what I needed to do. And then I was finished for the day. And then one of the members of that group said, no. He's like, why don't you stay? And then I was like, and then he's just like, we want you to photograph some more. So after what I needed to do was done, I stayed for another couple hours and kept photographing with them. And it was dope to just be out there and network with different people, do something different than what I'm usually used to doing, And about 2 weeks later, I get a bunch of calls and a bunch of messages saying that one of the pictures had made the billboard. And I was like, what? So I go over there, I see the billboard on Rosecrans and Avalon at the gas station, and I couldn't believe it. I was shook. So I was like, dang, one of my pictures on the billboard, now that's crazy. So then I called my godfather, and I said, hey, we got to go over here and see this billboard. And the one thing I told him is that I wanted to make him proud before he left this world. So we took a drive on a Monday down there, sat at the gas station for about 45 minutes, just looking at the billboard. I took pictures of him in front of the billboard. And the one thing he said was, this is your time to shine. You really gonna go up from here. It's gonna be up and up for my godson. Because this right here, this is a huge milestone and a monument in a major way. And we just sat there for an hour and a half. And I thought, the standard time for a billboard was like, okay, maybe 2-3 months. This was in March. I come back in June, the billboard's still up there. And I said, wow, this is the longest I've ever seen a billboard up in the city of LA for that matter. And I thought it was just such a dope moment to just reminisce on. And even better for me because I was just like, I've inspired some people out there that are watching, and I hope that they're able to, take something with this and be inspired, get out there, maybe to whether it be taking pictures, starting with clothing, right, whatever it is that they have a desire to do. I hope that I inspired them in some way. And then I was grateful to do that with my godfather because, a year later he had left this world. So and in the end, I was at peace because I was like, okay, I inspired him. Like I said, I was, and I was really going to go all out for him. And I really did within that year. And that was like the biggest blessing I ever received. Now, going forth all these years, I've had a love for doing this. And I'm appreciative of the growth that I've received. And there's so many more projects that I have coming up that I can't wait to bring to existence, speak into existence, and bring to a reality. And I'll share another story. This is the most recent one. That's a huge inspiration that to this day, I still look at these pictures a year later. So I'm really close to the Low Bottoms Car Club. Like, they're family to me, especially the president. His name is G. Drives a red Malibu and everything. He's seen all over the Low Bottoms. If you ain't seen him, you ain't been outside. But I'm real cool with him. He sends me a flyer for a community event at Fred Roberts Park, which is on 48th Place in Long Beach. He's like, you should come through, take some pictures. So I said, you already know I'm there. Anything when it comes to the low bottoms in the community, like, I'm going to stand by it and show up and show out and support. So I take the train down to Vernon Station like I usually do, my routine thing. And I had anticipated that the low bottoms were going to be there already, I already knew they was going to be there deep. And then I go to the store, come out of there, and then there's this brother, his name is Big C, Chris, who owns 59 Impala mothership. I hear the engine roar off of that 59, and I turn my head and I said, I know it ain't this brother coming down Long Beach and Vernon, because I seen him all over the place. But I never thought I'd seen him in the low bottoms. So I pulled out my phone real quick because I couldn't even pull out my camera. And he seen me, and he stopped in the middle of the intersection before making a right turn, and I captured a picture while he was looking at the camera. And the rest is history when it comes to that. So I go to the park, I'm photographing everybody. It's like a whole family function. And it was so dope because we hadn't done that event in a few years prior to the pandemic. So it was dope to be amongst all our people, black and brown, getting together, conversating, chopping it up, doing big community things together. And, with Big C in the house, it just really turned the event up like 1,000 notches, 100%. And we were just having fun all day from 11 o'clock to 2. So everyone's getting ready to leave. And my homie Frankie, he calls me and he says, hey man, he's like, the mothership and Low Bottoms are all gonna go to the world famous Taco Mama on Vernon and Hooper. And I said, what? I said, shoot, I'll be there in 2 minutes. I literally ran all the way down to Compton Avenue and ran up Compton Avenue to Vernon with the camera and everything. I didn't care. I was just like, I'm there. And I went over there and I seen just the mothership parked in front of the restaurant in the parking lot. And as many times as I've been to Taco Mama, I had never seen the whole parking lot full of lowriders like that. So I got excited. I was hyped. So I was just there, capturing everybody while I'm eating a burrito at the same time, just enjoying ourselves, making the best of that day. And everyone starts to leave. I go on the street, I go on Vernon, and I'm capturing with one hand, videos of everyone leaving. Then the other hand, I'm trying to press the button and take some pictures, hoping that, you know, they're on point and that I don't miss the moment or miss the beat. And, you know, after everyone left, like everyone's like, "You gonna be all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good." You know, put on my gear, I walk down the street, all happy. You know, because that's what I do all the time. Whenever like I leave from somewhere, you know, I always get dropped off at a metro station or I walk to the bus stop or something. I think about like how dope, like I was able to create something, you know, even if it's spontaneous, planned, whatever the case may be. And of all occasions that I've had with photography where I've captured dope moments, that moment by far within the recent year has been the most reminiscent moment that I've had from that day, like to this day, a year later, because that was in March of 2023. I'm still reminiscing and looking at those pictures because that's how dope they are. To those who are listening, the best advice that I can give you is always show up for yourself day in and day out. No matter the struggles you go through, no matter the trials and tribulations that serve you, no matter the obstacles and challenges that you may have. If there's anything as far as a vision for having a clothing brand, becoming a photographer, whatever it is that you strive to become in life, whether that's being a better person, whatever it may be, go ahead and make sure that you go out there and you make it happen for yourself day in and day out, no matter what, even if it's baby steps, because small progress is better than no progress. If anybody wants to get a hold of me, I'm on Instagram. My Instagram is oldschool_mentality. I thank you all for having me on this platform, and I thank you for listening to me, and this is Making Changes.